I've had so many people ask me for my updated settings for Marvel Rivals Season 5, so today I'll be going over all of my settings and explaining how they work so you can get a better understanding and improve your aim. If you are interested in not just improving your settings but also improving your gameplay as a whole, I'd recommend watching the entire video to get the best understanding so that you can improve the most. So for my display settings, I use HFR mode, which means I can use 120 FPS. Aiming is so much easier on a high frame rate, and if you are still using 60 FPS, swapping to 120 will show a crazy improvement for your gameplay. For my brightness setting, it's set to 60, it's just so I can see a little bit easier on darker maps. For my sound settings, everything is pretty much default, I just turned down the music as it can be pretty distracting. So now this is important, for my combat mix, I've tested all of these a lot and I've found that focus is the best for me. What it does is it gets rid of some of the audio clutter while also making your own sounds like hit markers louder, which I really like. So if you don't use this, I'd recommend trying it out and seeing if it works for you. I also use KO sound cues because I think they're very important for your awareness. It just means that when you kill an enemy or your teammate dies, it will play a sound and alert you. So here's a thing that everybody came for, and it's my sensitivity and advanced controller settings. Also, if you've watched until now, you may as well subscribe as it's free to do so and it helps me out a lot. Thank you for all the support I've been getting as well, by the way. So for my sensitivity, I use 500/500. Now you may look at me like I'm a crazy person, but there's a method behind this madness, and that is my dual zone curve. You may have also noticed that I use 100 boost as well, and this basically means that I play on a 600 sensitivity. The reason why I play in such a high sense is because my current curve settings allow me to do so. However, if this does feel too fast for you, don't be afraid to lower it and find out what's actually comfortable for yourself. Not everybody can play high sense, and not everybody enjoys playing on high sense. It's usually going to be personal preference. So for my curve settings, I use what's known as an S-curve. I made a whole video explaining this in detail, but to summarize, an S-curve will have a slight boost in sensitivity when you push your stick in a little bit, but then it will drop slightly the further you go. It will then speed up again when you push your stick all the way in one direction. What this allows me to do is to snap to targets, then slow down when you need to hit your shots or track your target, and then it will speed up again when you snap to a different target. So it's basically a dynamic sensitivity curve, which if anybody has played COD, you'll know in that game they have a dynamic too, which is what I used to use when I used to play that game. So it allows you to control higher sensitivities while still being accurate, which is the best possible scenario for a controller. So the values are on screen, copy these numbers and you'll create the curve. And I've shown this curve before on my channel and I'm glad it's helped a lot of people and they found that it really does improve your aim. Then for my aim assist settings, I use 25 window size, 100 strength and 80 ease in for all heroes. I did make another video covering how the aim assist works in this game, so if you want a deeper understanding of how it works, definitely check that out later. The general rule is that if you use a low window size and a high ease in, there'll be less interference with aim assist when you're aiming at multiple targets. So basically it only activates when you're on a singular target. So with the introduction of Season 5 they added a new setting called Close Range Aim Assist. Because the setting is really new, I've not tested it enough to give you a definitive answer on whether you should use it or not. I think it will be based on the type of hero you play. So I'm going to test this for a few more hours and I'm going to make a video covering the setting in detail. So for now I'd recommend using it as it does give you more aim assist when you're close to a target, however this could work against you. So for now just test it out, but I will be making a new video in the next few days covering this setting in detail after I've tested it properly. For my dead zone settings, I use a 1 because my controller is pretty new. The lower the dead zone you have, the better it is for micro adjustments, so put this as low as you can without getting drift. Then for my character movement dead zone, I use an 8 because it allows me to get extra rotational aim assist so that the game always activates it. So I did cover this in my aim assist video as well. It basically allows you to abuse the aim assist system, and if you have a Hall effect or TMR controller you won't be able to use this because it uses the very small amount of drift on your left stick to activate the aim assist at all times, and see if you can get it to activate without causing your character to move on its own. For my crosshairs I change them a lot. For heroes like Hela and Phoenix I use a small dot crosshair, and for most other heroes I use a small green or small yellow crosshair. And then I use allied health bars so I can see how weak my teammates are. So I've also had a lot of questions about my binds. So basically I play flipped, which means that I use my bumpers on my controller to shoot. I've been using flipped controls for a long time, so it felt pretty natural to me. And I also use L3 to ping, which is the best button for pinging, as I can ping without having to take my thumb off the stick. A lot of people as well want to see my accessibility settings and my colorblind settings, so I found these are really nice because it makes enemies really easy to see. I don't use any filters, I have all the settings except from enemy color set to pinkish purple, and my shield is set to green. When my enemies are yellow, I can't explain it, but my aim is just better. I really dislike playing on red outlines, and I think the extra clarity is really good while playing on certain darker maps. Now I'm going to show you the aim trick that completely transformed the way that I play in every game. And I've covered this before, but I think it's really important for every single person watching this video to take advantage of movement aiming. It's a very simple concept that can help you improve your accuracy by such a large amount. I even see top 500 players not taking advantage of this. In Marvel Rivals, when you're shooting at someone, their first instinct is to move left or right and not get hit. We do this subconsciously a lot, and when someone is strafing like this, it can make it way harder to aim. All you need to do to combat this is to copy their movement with your own movement. So basically you're minimizing how much you use your right stick while aiming with your left stick. So if they move to the left, you should move to the left also. Just copy what direction that they're going in, and the rotational aim assist and the standard aim assist and then your own movement will all help you hit your shots. This helps so much when aiming at long ranges, however if you do get dived, don't do this as it will make your movement very predictable. The skill is in knowing when to use this and adapt to your current situation. This paired with my settings will fix a lot of your aiming problems because the movement aim will make regular aim way easier. Another big thing is to shoot people who aren't looking at you. Even if they're moving, they won't be dodging your shots, which will lead to really easy picks. These two things completely transform my aim, so in your next game think consciously on matching your enemy's strafe patterns and taking off angles, and you'll see your accuracy improve by a lot. Now I'm going to go over the type of controller and accessories that I use. I use a DualSense Edge controller and a standard PS5 controller. I don't use any of the DualSense sensitivity settings, everything is still default. It's basically a standard PS5 controller. I just swap between them whenever one needs charged. The DualSense Edge has one key advantage, which is lower input delay, but it's not a huge difference, and I have no use for the paddles because I play claw. I also use one high-rise Control Freak Vortex on the right stick, and I've been using Control Freaks for absolutely ages, since I was about 10 years old playing on the Xbox 360, and I've never looked back. These are great because your stick is higher, and you increase your range of motion, which allows you to make finer adjustments to your aim. So if you don't use Control Freaks, I'd recommend trying them out if you want to play a higher sensitivity, or control your current sensitivity better. I'm not sponsored, I've just been using them for a very long time. I also play on a 1440p 240Hz monitor, but obviously Marvel Rivals is capped at 120fps on consoles, so that's pretty much all my settings and everything I use in game. If you watched the whole video, I really appreciate it. I'm trying to hit 10k subs, so if you'd subscribe, I'd really appreciate that too as well. And yeah, thanks for watching, I hope this helps at least one person. And yeah, that's it.
Healing? Why would I need healing? I like the color. Unprotected. Double KO. That's 3. A try.
Out of sight. Judge. Target neutralized.
Resistance is futile. Our foes may be near. Who could fight the goddess of hell? Double KO! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row! The mission area is yours! Shall I? 5! That's amazing!